In a second or two, we're going to be joined by Spanish football expert, hugely respected figure of Terry Gibson, who knows everything there is to know about Spanish football, because so much going on over there. Following the announcement of Jurgen Klopp, there was another announcement that Xavi, one-time brilliant Barcelona player, now Barcelona head coach, is to leave come the end of this season. But why so? Terry Gibson joins us live. Terry, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, Jim and Simon. Good morning.
Hi, Terry.
Terry, thanks so much for joining us. So, Xavi, and I know you get to the root of these stories in Spain because you've got to split the fact from the fiction. We know that to a large extent. Why has Xavi decided now I'm out of there?
Well, I think initially it did look like an emotional response to another disastrous performance from Barcelona at the weekend, losing 5-3 at home to Villarreal. They were 2-0 down, they went 3-2 up, and then managed somehow to lose a game against the team that are in a relegation battle this season. This isn't a usual Villarreal team. So it comes on the back of going out in the Copa del Rey against Athletic Bilbao. It came on the back of losing the Spanish Super Cup to Real Madrid 4-1. And that it seemed to be an emotional response from a manager that had lost his way. Now we look deeper into it, there have been, some situations going on behind the scenes at the club, which have probably led Xavi to perhaps that performance being the last straw. And by that, I mean that the change in sporting directors over the last couple of years, Jordi Cruyff was the sporting director. Matteo Alemany was also heavily involved in the negotiations of the transfer business of the club. They left and Deco came in. And it does appear now, as more is coming to light, that Xavi didn't particularly see eye to eye with Deco. I think perhaps not best pleased with the influence of George Mendes being involved now, because Deco is a former agent. This is his first job as a sporting director.
Yeah.
Deco was the agent that brought Rafinha to the club not so long ago. And then suddenly becomes an expert on that side of the football business. He's working with Laporta. And Xavi feels that maybe in the past couple of transfer windows, players have left the club he didn't want to leave, and players that he wanted to be brought into the club didn't materialise.
I see.
So I think there's more to it than just the results. And I think it's been a turbulent time. I mean, I do feel for Xavi. He's won the league last season under these circumstances by 10 points from Real Madrid. You look at this season's performance and you think, how did they do that?
Yes.
It was an extraordinary success from Xavi, but I think it's taken its toll. And as he said, as a few managers have said before, when you manage one of these juggernaut clubs in European football, such as Barcelona or Real Madrid in Spain, it takes its toll.
Yeah, and of course we saw what happened yesterday, and we expected it, Terry. Mikel Arteta came into the frame, and with Barcelona in mind, the line of questioning to him was, are your days numbered at Arsenal? This was his response to that.
Fake news, what you read yesterday is, I don't know where it's coming from, and it's totally untrue. I'm really upset about it. I don't know where it's coming from, and it has no source, it's got nothing, and I think we have to be very cautious when you talk about personal things to put it in the way that it was put yesterday. I'm in the right place, I'm with the right people, I feel really good about it, and as I said many times, I'm immersed in a beautiful journey with this football club, with these players, the staff, our people, and there is still a lot to do.
So that was Mikel Arteta, Terry. If it's fake news and he says it is, why do you think he was so upset about being asked about it?
No, to be honest, the news that hasn't really reached anything in the Spanish press. They haven't seen it. It's more in the English media. It's not been so much in Spain. I think everybody in Spain is expecting Xavi to stay, but there is an issue now regarding they have to finish top four, for Champions League, and that's not given. Girona don't lose any games. Real Madrid are 10 points clear. Girona 11 points clear. Atletico Madrid are level. Athletic Bilbao are a really good team this season and breathing down the shoulders of Barcelona. So they can't take for granted they're going to be Champions League football again next season. It's even come to head now. They get €5 million for being in the Spanish Super Cup, which was just played. Now their position in that next season with 4 teams is in doubt. They have to finish runners-up in La Liga at the very least to get in that. So every little euro counts for Barcelona. And if it doesn't go well in the next few weeks, then I think we might see the change earlier, as opposed to Xavi seeing out the season as he's lined out, is his plan.
Yeah, I mean, Simon, you were talking to me about it yesterday. Not so much Barcelona being the story; they no longer are. Girona are the story.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to ask Terry. I mean, what is the backstory behind this side's performance? Michael Sanchez is the manager, right?
Yep, Michel. Yep, he's had a pretty average career. Huesca, Rayo Vallecano. Nobody expected this from Girona this season. They were in amongst a group of teams that could either finish mid-table or be in a relegation battle. A good season for Girona would have been to finish 10th and not be involved in the relegation issues. No one was even considering them for a European spot. Now we're looking at the season. They've lost one game this season. That was to Real Madrid at home. They're unbeaten away from home. And when they draw at Betis now, we say, oh, Girona dropped points this week at Real Betis. So it's astonishing that they won 1-0 in the weekend against Celta Vigo away from home. And you're just going into games now. Your mindset is completely different. You're expecting Girona to win every week. And they face Real Madrid very soon in a couple of weeks' time. So that's going to be, I say, another test. But it's astonishing. From someone like myself who's been involved in football for so long, I can think of Leicester as the exception. But this is Girona are a much smaller club than Leicester City. I mean, their ground holds about 12,000 people. It's their second season back in the top flight. And we wouldn't have been surprised to see them involved in a relegation issue. But they've got Paulo Gazzaniga in goal. Daley Blind is playing centre-back. Eric Garcia, who Barcelona didn't want, is playing centre-back. Christian Stuani, who used to be at Middlesbrough, is still coming off the bench and scoring goals. They're the fastest, hardest working team in La Liga with incredible amounts of belief now. And it's fantastic to watch. And if you're neutral, which I am, you can't help but think this would be one of the best stories ever in football if Girona
they're the story,
Real Madrid to the top.
Absolutely. I mean, Madrid have a game in hand. I mean, your gut feel, Terry, what do you think? Do you think that Girona can keep this up, or do you think Madrid will catch them?
I think Real Madrid, I look at Real Madrid this season, I think they're perfectly suited to win La Liga. They've been helped by the fact Barcelona and Atletico have disappointed, but Girona, nobody expected them to be their main challengers. I do feel in a couple of weeks' time they play Girona at home. And we're talking about that as a league title decider with Girona. And
brilliant.
I still, at the back of my mind, keep thinking this can't go on. You know, sometimes this happens. It may last a dozen games. Yeah. But now we're week 22 and they're still there, top of the league.
Watched them I saw them recently.
Scores in the league at home, away, in total. They're fantastic to watch.
Brilliant. And Daley Blind still got calmness and awareness written all over him, hasn't he? Terry Gibson, good to speak to you. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Thank you, Jim. Always a pleasure.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.